Hello, welcome to my series where I'm looking for low market cap coins to explode just like Doge did. In this series, I'm going to be making a bullish case for Algorand. I think this coin has a tremendous amount of potential, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So why would you listen to me? Well, I do have 4 years of experience by using a logical, systematic, and consistent approach to trading. I do not use any news or fundamentals, okay? I only look at the charts and the charts alone. The reason why, it keeps me unbiased in my assessment, and I don't become married to a chart. I don't have any emotional attachment to it. Also, news and fundamentals are not quantifiable. That means you can't actually measure anything that has to do with news and fundamentals. So because of that, I 100% believe that any news or any fundamentals is already in the charts if you know where to look. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. Do not go anywhere. Let's get right into it. So as you guys see, this is the coin market cap for Algorand. We currently have around $4 billion in market cap, and it is the 42nd largest coin on coin market cap. That means of all cryptocurrencies, it's ranked number 42 in market cap. Let's see what else on here. Also, if you look over here to Doge, you guys can see Doge currently has almost $70 billion in market cap. That means if we were to have the same growth and get to the same size as Doge, we'd be looking at about almost 20x, around 15 to 20x our current price. That means if ALGO has the same sort of increase, we'd be looking at around $15 to $20 a coin. Pretty tempting, right? Okay, now, obviously, that's the high side. That's the expectation if we match Doge. But can we actually get there? Well, let's dive in and see if we can. So the first thing we're looking at right here is the alt dominance chart. This is a very, very important thing that you must be looking at if you're looking into the crypto market as a whole in the altcoin sector. Since we are altcoin traders, we're looking for an altcoin, we need to be very aware of what's happening in this chart. Let me explain this real quick so you understand what we're even looking at. So this is a percentage of the total market cap that is in Bitcoin compared to anything else in the market. So the higher the percentage, the more money that's in Bitcoin. The lower the percentage, the more money is in altcoins. So as you guys can see, over the last few weeks, we've had money just hemorrhaging from Bitcoin and going into altcoins. This is alt season. This is when the alts tend to really start exploding. This is why you're seeing coins like Doge absolutely go parabolic and absolutely psychotic, all right? This is what you're looking for. So over here, we have a weekly breaker. What a breaker means is that a trend is established and you have a break in price before a continuation of a trend, okay? Trend established, break in the price, continuation of the trend. This breaker is a place where whatever direction the trend was going, there was some sort of resistance, okay? If there was any sort of resistance there, there was some sort of a fight, that means there's consolidation. Well, the rule is that if you have some sort of resistance on the way up, you will also have resistance on the way down when you get to that level. If we go to a lower time frame, you can see we absolutely did get some sort of resistance, especially on the 4-hour. We did get quite a bit of resistance. However, because you see we have a tap here, came back over, back below, and now we have reclaimed it, or we have closed below it. That means that we have continued going down because this was once a support, goes back below, now it is a resistance. That is really, really good. For us altcoin traders, this is what we want to see. We want to see this price continuing down. Right now, there's no signs of this stopping, this collapse, and the trend is your friend. Since the trend is down, we expect it to continue down, which is good for us. So until we do start showing some signs of it reversing, going the other direction, we're just here to make money in the altcoin market, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is the total 2 chart, okay? What this is this is an actual dollar amount of every dollar in the crypto market, except for Bitcoin. It's very important. The total has all money on everything, the total 2 has all money minus Bitcoin. Since we're alt traders, it's pretty dang important we know what our altcoins are looking at. And this puts an actual dollar value on it. So as you guys see, we currently have $1.15 trillion in the alt market, okay? This is a tradable chart. This is a chart that we can look at and actually make predictions off based off the price action. So if you go over here, let's look at what it's looking like. Well, as a whole, you see it's going up pretty dang well, right? That looks very healthy. On the daily chart, we have a very, very clean retest of this level. So this is once again a breaker. I love my breakers. You're going to hear this all the time. So movement up, break in price action, continue up, right? So this breaker was established. This candle went down, went below the breaker, but as of right now, we have 1 hour and 51 minutes to change that outlook. We are above that breaker. That is a bullish. That is very bullish. It's called a retest. So a bullish retest has happened on the total 2 chart. That looks awesome, okay? So on the daily, we're looking great. On the weekly, we're looking great. On the 4 hour, yeah, it still looks fine. Nothing wrong about this. This is a standard consolidation pattern. So overall, our alt market looks great, okay? The Bitcoin dominance is trending down like we're expecting, and the total 2 chart is looking very healthy. That's all fantastic things for all of our altcoins. But for this particular video, we're focusing on Algorand, right? Well, let's go ahead and start digging in and see how Algorand looks. Now, as you guys see, I do trade a ton of different charts, but in this video, we are focusing on this. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Now, in trading, the first thing that you want to do is you want to zoom out, okay? You must zoom out so you don't miss the big picture. So we're going to go ahead and look at the big picture and see what things are looking like. The very first thing I'm going to do anytime I get to a chart on the monthly, I'm going to go ahead and annotate the previous close from that, or the previous open from that month. And just again, I'm going to do it for 1 additional month. There we go. So I have my April open established, and I have my March open established, which also happens to be the February close and the March close, the exact same thing. So that's now been annotated. On the monthly chart, let's look at the overall structure. On the monthly chart, we do have a massive increase in volume. And what is this price doing when that volume is coming in? The price is going up. That is awesome. That's what we want to see. When you have rising volume on rising price, that is a bullish sign. You expect it to continue upward. All right, awesome. Looks good so far. And now you also have decreasing price, or when the price is decreasing or finding resistance, you see the volume is decreasing as well. That's really good for a consolidation as well. This monthly chart looks absolutely gorgeous, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me get rid of that real quick. I want a fresh chart so I can start this from absolute scratch and prove to you guys why I'm so bullish on this coin. Now let's go to the weekly chart. We're going to do the exact same thing, guys. We are going to annotate our last 2 opens and closes. That's 1 and that's 2. There we go. So the previous weeks have been annotated as well. And I'm going to go ahead and label this real quick. So this is going to be a monthly open. I can't type today. This is going to be a monthly open. This is going to be a weekly open. And this is going to be a weekly open. All right. You're going to see, I haven't even looked at this chart in that much detail yet, but I'm going to assume there will be some serious interaction with these levels. Oh, and one more I also have to annotate, completely forgot about. We need to look at our yearly open. Let's see where we started the year at. Way down here. Are we going to get any sort of interaction with there? More than likely not, but you know what? Let's go ahead and still annotate it, just because that's what we want to do. We want to have a consistent, logical, and just systematic approach to it. Okay, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we have all these levels established. Now on the weekly, let's see if we have any breakers. And like I was saying, guys, I'm looking for breakers, which are going to be. Did I mess this up? I did mess this up. No worries, guys. We're going to go back real quick. I'm going to fix this real quick. Let's go back to the 12-hour or the 12-month chart. That's the first one. Let's go to the monthly chart. It's going to be this one, and it's going to be this one right below it. That works out well. Now back to the weekly. All right, now we're back to the weekly. So weekly one is going to be here and here. Awesome. So monthly. A little bit of delay, but not too bad. I think I'm okay with this. Open. The reason why I'm choosing this chart, not the other one, because this chart has more price history, and we need more price history so we can make further back assumptions. Weekly, and get this one as well. All right, and we are back. You guys got to see it twice, so you know exactly what you're doing. So you guys will be able to do this in your own charts. Now, let's look at some breakers. Well, I have a very clear breaker right here. I do like this one a lot. Even though they're probably both considered a breaker, that one combined, I do like this one because the interaction with here and the interaction with here. So, other breaker I like, this is a very clear one as well. That is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What else? Anything down here is just so far out of the way, I don't really see us getting down there again anytime soon. So, I think, as far as breakers are concerned, I'm pretty content with where we're at right now. I like it. I think it makes a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and look at our RSI, see how we're doing as a whole on this chart. All right. Well, the first thing that I'm noticing on here is we have one thing you want to be concerned about is having what's called a bearish divergence. So what that means is you have a higher high on price, okay, a higher high on price, which as you can see, this high is higher than this high, right? But what you're afraid of is having a lower high on RSI. That means the RSI over here trends downward. That means that even though the price is going up, we are losing strength. But if you guys look at this, we do not have a bearish divergence. This means that the price is going up and the RSI is also going up. This is really, really, really good. I cannot stress this enough to you guys. I'm so happy to see this. So this means that we are having a ton of strength on this chart. Also, if I'm looking at this correct, let me make sure. Don't want to make any false assumptions. This is a higher low on RSI. And this is going to be, wow, this is going to be a lower low on RSI. This is called a hidden bullish divergence. Another really, really good sign. Like that right there is also, that already, this is a major, major case for it continuing upward. Just this little amount of stuff right here tells me a massive amount of information. I'm super, super, super happy about that. Let me go ahead and end that real quick. All right, so you guys also can see how well this breaker was respected. So this breaker, it did come back in and it did retest it, which confirms it as a solid breaker. And then once we got above that breaker, naturally it wants to come back in and retest it. And as you guys can dig in and look, it did retest it. So that is a very, very strong, really good looking market structure. I'm very happy with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete some of this because we don't really need this anymore. We've already established that the hidden bullish divergence does exist. We've also established that a classic bearish divergence does not exist, which is very, very important. I'm super, super excited about both of those so far. This is a yearly open. All right, now let's go ahead and look at our overall pattern. What is the overall structure looking like? Do we see any patterns that we like? Well, yeah, I actually see a massive amount of patterns I like. This entire structure right here is what we would call a rounded bottom. Okay, rounded bottom. There's not really a any sort of like way to really show that necessarily, but you just want to look at the overall structure and see how much consolidation that we have. Consolidation is anytime the price wants to go essentially sideways. The longer the consolidation, the more harsh the expansion, the faster the expansion. Okay, so something like XRP. XRP tends to consolidate for a very, very long time, but when it decides to move, it moves very, very violently. That's great on here as well, because this consolidated ever since realistically 2019 all the way up until 2020. So an entire year and a half, it just stayed essentially stagnant for the entire period. And now it started to explode upward. And as you guys see, we've already had a nice little movement up. That's fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Furthermore, I would consider this I think I like this. I'm going to go ahead and classify this as well, if I can find the right one, because I'm going crazy right now. Where's that? Oh, here it is. Okay. I think I could consider this as a head and shoulders, a standardized head and shoulders. It's not a clean one, but here's this, and there's that as well. That's I like that. It's overall a nice head and shoulder structure. Okay, now that I've drawn that, you guys can see. So this is going to be the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. And it definitely broke the trend line. It broke the trend line with volume. This is a very classic reversal pattern for a macro time frame, and that looks very clean. So I do like this a lot as well. Furthermore, we also have what's called a cup and handle. Okay, so cup and handle right here to right here, we have a rounded bottom and a massive handle up. So a rounded bottom with a continuation upward. It definitely went past the other side of the cup, but then we have this consolidation period after a cup and handle. That's also a bullish pattern. Like, all this looks very good on a pattern level as well. So we have the breaker, which did do a solid test in the bottom, test from the upside, and now we expect a continuation upward. We do also have, oh wow, I haven't mentioned this one yet either. This looks like a very clean impulsive movement up with some sort of a flag. Some sort of a flag, right? So we're going to go from here over here. Now, the volume profile isn't amazing on this flag. I don't love it. Let's go ahead and dig in real quick. Yeah, I don't love the volume profile. And here's what I'm looking for, guys. I want to see a massive amount of volume here with a consolidation pattern, which means lessening of volume over here. Let's look at another exchange and see if it's over there. You know, this exchange looks a lot better, actually. Okay, so great example of how different exchanges will play different things. The Hubai chart, the one we were using because it has more price action, more price history, actually has about flat amount of volume. But if you go to Coinbase, which even though it doesn't have as much history, like you guys can see, it doesn't actually have the massive drop. This has a much cleaner volume profile. So on this increase, you guys see this is the peak of the volume, which is an uptrend, which is bullish. Okay. And since we have this massive amount of increase on the volume during an uptrend, that's really good. And then over here on the consolidation period, the flag, we have lessening volume. That's also really good. So because of that, if this was an impulse up and this was a flag, the next movement you would assume to be another impulse up. Now, exactly where this impulse or how far this impulse goes, there's a lot of question marks here on what the power of this could be. We really don't know, okay? But just understand that this is a solid impulse up, solid corrective structure, and solid impulse. So let's go ahead and recap all the things that we see on this chart, because there is a lot. So number one, we do not have a classic bearish divergence, which is a bullish indicator. We do have a hidden bullish divergence, which is another bullish indicator. We do have a head and shoulders pattern, which is another bullish indicator. We have a cup and handle, which is another bullish indicator. And we also have, this breaker play, right? The breaker, you come back from a below, test it, come back above, retest it again, another bullish indicator. And lastly, the impulsive movement up here on the Coinbase chart shows increase in volume with a decrease during the consolidation. That looks like a bull flag or bull pennant. Another bullish indicator, guys. This This chart by itself, without anything else being thrown in here, already makes it bullish. Like, I don't even have to go any further in this video to really convince someone that it is long time frame bullish, honestly. However, we're going to keep going in because we're not done yet. So let's go ahead to the daily. Let's check this out as well. See how we're doing over here. So just like before, we want to go ahead and check to see the overall structure of the market. Now that we're on the daily time frame, we can now use an indicator called the 200 moving average on the daily. What this means is this is the last 200 candle closes put into a solid line. Now that may not make much sense right now, but the important thing is if the price is above this line, that's bullish. If the price is below this line, it's bearish. Well, right now we're above this line, so we are trending upward. That looks great, okay? This other purple line right here is called the 50 EMA. Anytime that the 50 EMA crosses over and is closer to the price action than the 200 moving average, this is called a golden crossover and is a very bullish movement. So right here, you guys saw this is the 50 EMA crossover the 200 going towards the price action. This is the golden crossover, and this is the sign to the market of all the major investors that, hey, algo is super bullish, get ready. And as you guys can see, we have absolutely met those expectations so far. So that looks great. All right, now that is done now. So let's go ahead and dive in and get our breakers established like we did before. So right here, we have a very solid breaker. I like that a lot. This is, I'm going to go ahead and annotate it. I like that because this is called the point of breakdown. Even though it's not the breaker level, this is the last candle before the massive downtrend. I'm okay with that. It's not perfect. It's not textbook, but I think it has good interaction here. Other candles I'm looking at. This is a very solid breaker. I like that. This is a very solid breaker. I like that. And this is a very solid breaker. I like this as well. Okay, I know this chart looks very dirty right now, but I promise you guys, this is all very important stuff to look at. Okay. I'm going to come back to this chart. I am happy at the current levels. Ooh, one more I want to annotate. Make sure this is shown. That's very important. I think this is important. And the reason as to why I'll go over later, but that's a very important level. So I am happy with this chart. I know there's a whole lot on here, but I went through step by step on exactly why I placed all these levels. So if you go back in this video and really watch it, you guys can understand what I'm looking for here. All right, now we did on the US dollar pairing. Are we done? Nope. Now we have to go to the BTC pairing. Okay, we're going to go to Algo BTC and do the exact same thing. I already have stuff on here, don't I? Well, let's go ahead and fix that. I don't want anything on this chart. I want a very fresh, absolutely new chart. So we can start from scratch and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you guys can follow every step of the way. So just like before, what is the very first thing we do? We go to the month, well, we go to the yearly chart, right? Yearly chart, and we are going to annotate our ranges. That's 1 year. This is 1 year, okay? So this is for 2020. This is the start of 2020. This is the start of 2019. Yearly open. And this is going to be yearly open. All right, now let's go back to the monthly chart, just like last time, the previous two, right here and right here. Okay, this is going to be our monthly open. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, this is the exact same thing we did before. You're right, it is. I told you guys in the very beginning, this is going to be a systematic approach to trading. I'm going to take all the guesswork out for you. Okay, this is going to be very clear and consistent. You're going to have logic based. You won't have to worry about emotions anymore. All you have to do is follow the strategy and you will become successful. All right, it's really that easy. I know it sounds crazy, but I promise you this stuff does work. And then just like before, we're going to go back and annotate all of our weeklies. Weekly open. And last two weekly, and I think I'm going to call it good. That was a close over there, Close right here. Weekly open. All right. Well, we have that established. So now let's go back to our monthly, see what the monthly chart tells us. Well, the monthly chart definitely has an increase in volume on, okay, this is important actually. I like this a lot. Look where the volume comes into play. The volume that comes into play is on the up candles, the candles that end up. What that means that this is a significant price action. And look at where the volume comes in when the volume is low. Down. That means that on all these downtrends, we are lacking volume. That means that this downward movement is actually corrective in nature. So the movement upwards is impulsive because we have a massive amount of volume, and the downward movements are generally going to be corrective. That's fantastic. That once again helps lead into our bullish case. And then right over here, you see it again. The price is going up. The volume is going up as well. This is great, guys. I love this chart. I love this chart. I love this chart. I really, really do. I actually forgot to introduce this chart. So I don't know what your guys' experience is with trading. So I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. You have the ALGO USD pairing, which means how much ALGO or how much BT or US dollar does it take to purchase one ALGO? That's the question, right? So right now with ALGO, it costs $1.31 to purchase one ALGO, right? Well, the exact same thing exists on the BTC pairing. How much BTC do you get with one ALGO? Okay, BTC is very, very expensive, and we know that ALGO is only worth $1.30 something cents, right? So that means that with one ALGO, you can trade it for 0.0000244 BTC. Okay, that's what that means. But these two charts work hand in hand. You must know where both of them are at all times. So now that you have that established, you understand what all that means. Now you can continue trading. And anytime you're dealing with an altcoin, you must also know where the BTC pairing is as well. So on the BTC pairing, we've now hit the monthly. We're on the weekly. And let's see, actually, real quick. I'm going to go back one. Do we have any breakers established that I really like? Price action. Honestly, I really don't. Nothing on here really, really stands up as something I really want to annotate. Somewhat here. Let's see. Do I like that? I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I like that. I'll consider this a monthly breaker. I had to think about it for a while, but I had to see how the actual price action was working with it, and I think it worked out pretty well. So let's go ahead now down to the weekly. On the weekly chart, what are we looking at? So for any sort of a breaker levels, that's a clear one. I like this as well. And it almost entirely overlaps the monthly breaker, which I like as well. So it's what we call confluence, right? I like that. This level is very obvious. It's actually a 2-month level, or 2-week level, but I'm going to consider it a weekly for this video. Weekly breaker. Let's see. What else do I see on here? This is a solid one. I do like this a lot as well. Oops, did not mean to do that. Weekly breaker. All right, I think that's probably about all the breakers on the weekly and monthly that I'm going to add on this chart. Well, you have this as well. I don't hate this. Let's go ahead and add it. I think I want to go ahead and add this. I think it's really both of these levels combined. So this is going to be a weekly level breaker. Okay, I think that all makes sense. Now let's go ahead and zoom in onto the daily and see what else we got. On the daily chart, this is a clear level. I do like this. Daily breaker. I like this right here. I think this makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and do this. And it also tends to correspond with that. I think this makes sense. I'm okay with that. Daily breaker. Then that's probably about all I got. Well, I like this as well. Dang, I do like a lot of these. This chart's been consolidating for so long. It makes a lot of breakers that make a lot of sense to me. And I think I'm done. I think this is what I want to do. I think I'm content. Yeah, I think I'm good. I like this. All right. So obviously we have a lot going on here, right? So let's zoom back out and see if we have any of our divergences and all that good stuff that we talked about before. So to start with, do we have any hidden bullish divergences? No, we don't. No hidden bullish divergences that I really see on the weekly. Do we have any bearish divergences? No, I don't really see any either. Everything keeps making some sort of a consolidation pattern. Ooh, maybe I like this. Let's see. Do I like this? Do I like this? I don't know yet. I'm going to go to a lower time frame and see if that is a good trend line. Let's establish it real quick. It looks like it might be, guys. I like this a lot, actually. Ooh, I do like this. Okay. All right. So we have established our first trend line. I like this a lot. And if I extend it out, no, I'm good. All right. As you guys can tell, this price interacted with this line. It came back up, hit this line again, came back up, hit this line again. I think that we have enough hits on this to now establish some sort of a trend line. And over here, I think we can do essentially the same thing, can't we? Yes, we can. I like this a lot. Ooh, this is really good stuff, guys. All right, so we have this trend line, which is touched here, here, and then we have some interaction right here. I'm okay with both of those. So this is now making a symmetrical triangle on the BTC pairing. Very interesting stuff, guys. I'm very happy about this. Now, what else I'm going to look at is remember the 200 moving average on the daily we were talking about on the US dollar pairing? We have the exact same thing over here. And as you can see, it goes above and below, above and below, above and below. But the point is right now is that we are currently above this blue line. And not only are we above this line, we have had this candle go down below, tried to go below this line, but it closed up higher. That is very bullish. I like that movement right there. And yeah, if I had to guess, my assumption would be that we are going to break to the upside. The other reasons why is because we have so much support right below us. All those breakers that were below us are acting as a pretty solid support. And ooh, here's a good one too. I like that. So now we have even more support. And you guys can see how much interaction that we have now. In an hour and 24 minutes, we might actually get a close above this purple block, which would be a very, very bullish sign. And we see how dark purple this is, right? However, if you go up here, you see we have very little levels up here, and they're pretty dang spread out. So as long as we've reclaimed this level, I think that we have some serious potential to break out pretty dang soon, honestly. I'm very content. So what this means is that it will have to go up or down by 24 May, right? It has to. It doesn't have an option. It has to go one of these two directions. These two lines are coming together. They are converging to a center point. This center point is called an apex. So it is converging. It has to pick a direction. With everything that we've seen, I think the direction will be up. I honestly do. Yeah, I like it a lot, guys. I really, really do. Let's go to a monthly real quick. I'm actually curious to see something. No, it's down to the monthly. Okay, never mind. I was wrong on that. 12-month maybe. No, still not. Okay, never mind. It was a shot in the dark. Guys, I really try to look at these videos too much beforehand because I really want to try to learn all about this chart just like you guys. I adjust my portfolio just like you guys do after this video. All right. I think the BTC pairing looks good. I think we have the line in the sand. I think we know as long as we stay above this massive block right here in purple, we have some continuation upside very much showing. These green lines right here are making a symmetrical triangle. It has to pick a direction no later than 24 May. We know this, so we will have some sort of resolution either up or down by 24 May. And based upon what the US dollar long-term charts are showing us, I think up is the right path. Now let's go back to the US dollar pairing and see how we're doing as well, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Is that the right one? Nope, this is the right one. All right, so we are back over here. Let's go back to the daily chart. Ooh, this is good. This is good. Oh man, guys, this is beautiful interaction. All right, so let's go back down here real quick. I'm going to show you guys a concept that's very important. This is the previous low. Okay, you guys see that. This is when it came down here and rejected or reacted. Whenever you do have a low like this, a lot of times people will put their stop losses or will enter a short position if it gets down below this again. Well, it came back up here, and as you guys see, it did come back down here and go below this low. Whenever it went below this low, we had a lot of people who did go into short positions or had their stop losses activated, which meant there was a lot of sell pressure. This is what that did is that took out all the liquidity from this drop. Whenever you have the liquidity tap like that, and then the price rebounds back above and closes back above this level, this is called a swing failure pattern, and you would assume that the price would continue upward, as it did. Very clean SFP that was established. Furthermore, we have this daily breaker right here, which has supported the price. All this, and all this. Even though the wicks came down and tapped below, it never actually closed below this breaker. This breaker has held like a boss, guys. And as long as this breaker does not get closed below, we are in a really, really good spot. Furthermore, we have this breaker, which I believe is a weekly. Yes, it is. This was our massive weekly breaker. As you guys saw, it came down here and tapped that breaker and then continued upward. Very, very bullish. Very bullish. I am super, super happy with that. Let's go back to the daily, see what else we can find on here. So as you guys can just tell, these lines that we drew out are interacted with pretty dang well. Came up here, kept hitting, eventually got back above and then hit. When it did shoot up like that, because we reclaimed the monthly open, and that was a very bullish sign, and we did get above these breakers, it did pop the upside. However, this is when Bitcoin decided to crash. 18th of April, right? Everyone, I'm imagining everyone watching this video remembers that day. Very, very bloody day. And of course, it just absolutely collapsed because Bitcoin decided to collapse the market. Well, it did, right? We can't think about that, and it's unfortunate. So this massive, massive level right here, this entire thing, if I can find what I want to do, here it is. This entire thing is called a deviation or a bull trap. If you've ever heard of the term bull trap, what that means is that people assumed it was going to shoot up. And by everything that we've seen so far, they assumed probably they were right. They assumed that it was going to continue up. And then Bitcoin decided to ruin everybody's day. So everyone who got trapped there lost a lot of money. The good news is, because there is good news here, the good news is that all that liquidity from people who were expecting it to jump up have already been tapped. So next time we get up to this level, we would assume it to continue up. So it's unfortunate for everyone who was in this position because they did get all their liquidations and they got trapped, and it really sucks for them. The good thing for us coming in later on this is that now, next time it gets up there, we would expect continued upside. Our most current price action, actually, this is beautiful as well. We're on the daily chart still. You guys see this is a monthly open. We also have this massive breaker right here on the daily level. It came down here, hit that breaker, went below the monthly open, but as long as this can't be right. There we are, 1 hour and 17 minutes. Okay, I'm losing my mind. This is a Hubai chart, so it's out of China, if I remember correctly. So all the indicators are all messed up on what time the market closes. If you're watching this from the US or anywhere in the Western Hemisphere, or realistically anywhere outside of China, as far as I know, you're going to be using this as the daily close. So it looks different. I understand. It's okay. All right. So regardless, though, in 1 hour and 17 minutes, right? Look at this one right there. In 1 hour and 17 minutes, if we are above this level, and I fully expect to have this video out before this actually happens, that is a super bullish sign. And on the low time frame, I'm super happy about that. And even if we do fall below, we do have this very clear daily breaker right below it. So it wouldn't even surprise me that much if we come down here and retap this level. So yeah, guys, I mean, this looks really, really good. Wow. So overall, I don't know what else to say. Like I have shown you guys step by step from the absolute high end down to the low end why I think algo has tremendous potential in this bull run. Could it surpass Doge and do something similar? Yeah, absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind. Remember, right now, we only have around $4 billion in the market cap, and Doge is at $70 billion. There is a lot of room to run on this coin, and I think algo has the strength due to everything we talked about to make some serious impact. And who knows, guys? Honestly, who knows? The point is, I'm not selling, and obviously, I can't get you guys financial advice, but I like this coin, and I'm not selling it anytime soon. So if you guys have questions, let me know in the comments. All of my this trading view, all of the different tools that I use to really help ensure that I do make money in this market is in my description. So make sure to check those out. I do have referral links. I'd really, really, really appreciate if you guys do use them. Outside of that, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will absolutely see you guys in the next video. Deuces, boys.